Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another PlayStation review. Today I'm taking a look at Electronics Supermarket Simulator for the PlayStation 4. Now this came out late last week. I did put a gameplay video up on the channel, I think. Was it last Friday? Something like that. And this is another one of those simulator games. I mean, the PlayStation Store is jam-packed full of these things these days. Some of them are absolute garbage, and I have reviewed some of those on the channel. And some of them, sometimes you play them and, you know, they can be quite a bit of fun to play. This one falls somewhere in the middle, I suppose. Now, essentially, there is a lot of these supermarket simulator games on the PlayStation Store. There are some that are just general supermarkets, some are mechanic supermarkets, some are... I mean, there's even a sex shop simulator just been released in the PlayStation Store. I mean, there's no end to them. So they clearly are very popular, these simulator games. And when done properly, they can be quite fun and addictive to play, and they're quite cheap too. But this one focuses on an electronics superstore. So essentially you are selling electronic devices in there, you know, mouses, cables, coffee machines, so on and so forth. The list goes on and on. And essentially the game works very similar to many of the other supermarket simulators that you potentially may have played before. And if you haven't played one before, I will explain now how it essentially works. So you've got your own little shop when you first start. There's very little in there, and you've got to go to your computer, click on there, and then you end up basically, you've got a little bit of money to start, so you go to the market area, and initially you've got about 6 items that you can sell in your shop. So you buy some of them with the money that you've got. They immediately get delivered outside, and then you start filling up your shelves. Now, initially when you first start, I think you've only got really one shelf, I think. You can obviously buy more shelves, things like that. And so you go and get your stuff, and then you literally, as you can see, you start packing your shelves with the items that you've bought. You get rid of your box in the trash, and then you need to then set the price for your item. It tells you what the market price is, it tells you how much you paid for it, and it'll tell you how much profit you will make when you sell that item. Now, as each day passes, occasionally the prices of things will go up or down, and it's up to you to basically, if you've got that product on your shelves, you're going to have to change the price of it to match the market price. So you do that, and then you open your store. Your customers come in, and they will take things off the shelves, bring them to the counter, and then you will either they will either pay for it with cash, and then you've got to give them change out of the till, or they'll pay you with a credit card, and you've got to use the credit card machine to accept the payment. And then you do that, and then at the end of the working day, it tells you how much profit you've made, and you can see, you know, what's been popular in the shop, and then you've got to kind of buy. Again, start the following day and buy some new products to put on the shelves, basically. And you kind of rinse and repeat. Now, what the game also does as well is you've got to kind of build up, obviously, your profits, because there's a few things you're going to need to do. There's like a progression system in the game. You've got to buy licenses, they're called. So the first license, I can't remember how much it is, it might be $300, something like that. And that opens up a whole new set of items that you can sell in your shop. Another, I don't know, 4 or 5 items that you can sell, and usually you can sell them for a bigger profit than the stuff that you had on the lower tier. So it kind of gives you more chance to make bigger profits, sort of thing. And there's quite a few licenses to buy. They're very pricey. They start going up in price. But the idea is, obviously, the better licenses that you buy, the better products you're going to be able to sell in your shop, and the more profits that you're going to make. There's also, you need to expand your shop as well, so you can kind of grow your shop. So you'll go in, pay a certain amount, and then it'll open up a new section of the shop, so it makes it sort of bigger. so that you can put more shelves in, more display tables in, sell more products, so on and so forth. And then it also then gets to the point where you can hire staff. So that at that point, for me, the game really opened up, because the trouble is, if you're working on the till, and you're constantly serving people, which you will be, you can see like the stock on your shelves going. And you can't refill the shelves, and it can get quite frustrating because it's just you working there. You've got to wait while the end of the day or the beginning of the next day. And it can be quite frustrating. But once you employ somebody to work the till, that leaves you free then to continually keep the shelves stocked. Initially, you're kind of scratching your head thinking, am I going to keep kind of extra stock in the shop? Well, there's a storage room that you can unlock, basically, later on in the game. So once you unlock the storeroom, you can kind of buy extra stock, leave it in the storeroom, and then as your shelves are emptying during the day, when you've got a staff member working on the tills, you can go around and keep filling up the shelves, basically, to keep things nice and fresh in regards to stock. And then it's kind of rinse and repeat. You keep doing that sort of thing. You can keep expanding your shop. You can buy extra tills, employ more staff, buy better things to sell in the shop, and then it's kind of, like I say, rinse and repeat. You've got some things you can do in regards to design and all this kind of stuff. And I think I pay $11.99 for this. I don't think that's massively overpriced. Now, I have played some of these supermarket games before. I've got a couple in my library that I've never got round really to reviewing. I might actually do a few after this. And some of them are far worse than this one. This one actually works quite well. Some of the things that I like about this is when you price a product and it clears the shelf, if you put another product on that shelf sort of thing, it remembers the price of that product, so you don't have to keep repricing it. Some of these games that I've played, it's really frustrating. You have to keep repricing them when you put them back up. It does it automatically here. While you do get a lot of the customers that are basically the same person, graphically, I don't think it's too bad either, if I'm going to be honest. For a game of this price, with this kind of subject matter in regards to the game that it's playing, it works quite well. And the products that you're selling, you can kind of make out what they are, sort of thing. It's not too difficult, and it's got quite an addictive gameplay loop. Now, a lot of these games, if they don't kind of grab you early, then you're just not going to be interested at all. You're going to lose interest very, very quickly. But if you're a fan of simulator games, at the core of this one, it's got an addictive gameplay loop. You're always at that stage in this game where you kind of like, I want that next license because I want to be able to sell this product, whether it be phones or stereos, whatever. Because early on, you're just really selling crappy stuff like milk frothers and alarm clocks and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You want to get to the really good stuff to sell, so you're constantly wanting that new license to sell the products. You're wanting to expand the shop, make it bigger. You're wanting to get extra tills up there and extra staff so you can just make more money constantly. So it does have that addictive gameplay loop. But if you are not a fan of simulator games, this is absolutely not going to interest you in any way, shape or form. And I don't blame you. Don't get me wrong. This is not a highly polished game, even though I've not really come across any bugs or any crashes or anything like that. It is certainly not a top quality game by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not priced as such either. This is one of those that if you like simulator games and you do see this popping up in a sale, this is one of the better ones on the market, or the more playable ones on the market. Just don't go into this expecting a brilliant game by any stretch of the imagination, and you probably won't be too disappointed with it. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. So thanks for joining me for this review, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. I will, of course, be back with plenty more content very, very soon.